Welcome back to another review. This one is going to be an interesting one. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. So my previous video that I posted was about the Canon 28mm 3.5 lens for LTM mount systems. This one is mounted on the Canon 7S. And as you see here is a little viewfinder. That's what this review is going to be about, this viewfinder. I got this little viewfinder on, I think, Aliexpress for like $9 or $12. You might recognize this, maybe. It looks to me, it's like maybe the exact same one that Kex uses. Kex, I think it's Kex or Keeks. They make light meters, and if you go on the website, it looks almost identical to this, except with the little branding on the top of it. But what I said in the other review is before about the 28mm lens, I wish I would have done a little research to see how expensive these 28mm viewfinders are, because they can range anywhere from like $150 for some of the old Canon ones to like $300 for some of the really nice, I think the Voigtlander ones were like between $200 and $300. So I was like, before I go and spend that much money, I want to make sure that this lens really works, and I needed a viewfinder to do 28mm because the Canon 7S only goes down to 35, and you can't just use the viewfinder because it's just not wide enough with the magnification on it. So I figured I would risk the $9 and try this little puppy out. As you can see, it is pretty tiny. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space on the top of the camera like some of the other ones do. Some of the other ones do seem a bit big and gaudy, and a lot of them I've noticed, are typically circular, especially some of the newer ones like the Voigtlanders and older ones like the Canons. But overall, it worked out okay. When you look through it, it kind of does look like you're looking through the bottom of a Coke bottle, but this copy is overall actually pretty clear. I've got pretty good vision, and everything looks pretty, doesn't look too distorted or weird to me. The worst part is around the edges. It gets a little circular, which can be a little annoying when you're doing compositions, especially for things that are a little closer up. But overall, I think it did a pretty good job. One thing I did notice with this thing, I don't know, maybe it's because of how I positioned my eye in it, because if you shift it ever so slightly, I noticed, by the way, maybe I was pushing my face to it, that my compositions favored slightly to the right. So if you're looking at a picture, it looked like I had maybe a little bit more on the right side than I would have wanted to, and it should have shifted a little bit to the left. I also noticed that when I did vertical compositions, that it favored a little bit more space on the image on the bottom and a little bit tighter on the top of the image. So I don't know, maybe I need to figure out if I need just to keep my eye back a little bit further, or maybe just try to make sure I'm keeping the camera more level on my face when I'm doing it. But I noticed that maybe on like a quarter to maybe a third of the pictures, and it wasn't significant enough that the pictures were unusable. It just gave a little bit more breathing room on one edge than I really would have wanted for the total composition. But anyways, these are just guesstimates for the matter of fact anyways. So, but yeah, slightly a little bit more room on one side than I would have wanted. And I'm sure, with a more expensive viewfinder that actually has the frame lines on it, which this does not, would be more accurate and to the actual scene that you're seeing. But overall, due to the price of this and the actual results, I'm probably going to keep this for now. Maybe I'll get a more expensive one later on that will be maybe a little bit more accurate, but for now, with what I got out of my first roll of film on this, I thought it was pretty usable. So I'm going to keep using it for now. Maybe run another roll through, maybe with color this time, and just see if I can correct maybe some of those issues with that spacing on there. But yeah, overall, it looks pretty clear to me. Some people have said that it looks really bad, so maybe the copies that they have just are bad compared to this one, and this one just turned out pretty decent. I've heard rumors that these were taken out of old point and shoot disposable film cameras and then repurposing these. Don't know if that's true or not, but I can definitely see why people would maybe think that based off of how they look. But overall, if you're looking for a super cheap viewfinder for a 28mm rangefinder lens, I think it's worth your money if you just want to risk the $9 and give it a go. And if not, then you're only out a little bit of money. But yeah, that's what I got to say about this 28mm viewfinder on Aliexpress. And I think I also saw it maybe one of them on Temu. They also have them in like 35. And I think I saw another one, maybe 40 even. So yeah, worth the risk. Give it a shot if you need to find a 28mm viewfinder for your LTM or a mount rangefinder. Good luck. Good luck.